Please make sure to go drink water, guys. I know it is 9 o'clock, but go drink water and then come back. Anyway, I apologize for being so late. I know I usually don't do a Facebook Live this late. I usually do it like around 6 p.m. Pacific time. But quite frankly, my car ended up getting fixed, so I ended up pretty much going back to work. And so that's where I was all day. Instead of planning all these videos like I usually do, because I used to have all day where I could just plan these videos and then execute them usually at 5 or 6. But now, quite frankly, I pretty much have to do them when I get home. So I apologize for that. Whoever's on right now, I can't quite see you. So please, comment #live, #replay. Show some heart, show some love. And like I said, I do apologize. But anyway, let's get into it. So the green, or what did I put the title? I said grass greener on the other side, right? So it's interesting because check this out. So earlier today I was driving, right, in my little Suzuki, and it's a little hatchback and stuff. And it was a red light, so we were all stopped, and I looked to my left and there's a Porsche. And a lot of people's first thoughts are, wow, like, oh man, I wish I had that car, like it'd be so nice, like, oh man, I'd be so happy driving it. And like, oh man, it would be so great and it would totally change my life and it would be cool and this and that. Right? And that's pretty much everyone's thoughts, including me. That's the exact thought that I had. Wow, if I was driving that Porsche, my life would be happier, I'd be more happy. But then I stopped myself and I'm like, the grass is not always greener on the other side. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today, because a lot of the times people see other people doing well or successful or happy or in a different situation that they are, and then they say, man, if I was just in their shoes, like my life would change, I would be way happier than I am now. But the real question is, would you really though? And it's like I said, the grass is not always greener on the other side. Yes, that guy may have a Porsche, but how do you know that, how do you know that he no longer has his mother or his father, and quite frankly he is alone and has no one to spend time with? Or it's the same thing with, if somebody doesn't have anything at all and they're like, wow, if I just had this, or if I could just change lives with somebody else, I'd be much happier. But what happens if that person as well, same situation, doesn't no longer has their mother, their father, or whatever? Like, would you really want to switch to their position? No, you wouldn't, because you would be switching something that's much greater than what you're trying to get. So just like me, for example, if that guy in this instance doesn't have a father or mother, has no one, then pretty much I'd be changing lives with somebody that no longer pretty much has family, and pretty much my happiness would kind of go away, because quite frankly my mom is my happiness, and if I were to lose her, I don't know what I would do. But anyway, I know that's kind of like a ridiculous, example, but it's true, right? Because a lot of the times when we're jealous of somebody, or when we want somebody else's stuff, or when we want somebody else's, like life, or we just think, wow, if I could only win this, or if I could just become way more successful, or if I could switch with this person, like I would be way happier. And a lot of the times that's not always the case, because a lot of the times we tend to think that just because our life isn't doing too well, that this person's life is just perfect, and that they have no struggles in their life. The wind is just blowing in their face. They're driving their nice car. They got this loving family and this and that. Like I said, that's not always the case. And quite frankly, we discuss happiness, mental health, all that stuff in this Facebook Lives, and this has to do with happiness, because comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of happiness. So if you are comparing yourself to the Instagram models, this goes for the women out there. If you're comparing yourself to the Instagram models, or your happiness to somebody else because they're on a yacht or all this BS. There's a lot of the times, it's just smoke and mirrors, and we compare ourselves so much, and we start to really deteriorate. And instead of bettering our lives, and instead of doing better with our lives and trying to figure out how we can achieve those goals, a lot of times we compare and then kind of get bitter and get jealous of those people, and quite frankly wish that, oh, I wish I had their life, when in reality, why not just stay with your life and your situation and just make something out of it. So Alyssa, hey, what's going on? We have to water our own grass instead of comparing ourselves. Thank you. Exactly. And that's exactly what I learned. Imagine when I was going through depression and suicide, wanting to kill myself, and all the stuff that I have had to personally struggle. I wouldn't even be talking to you right now. If I wanted to switch lives, and I was able to switch lives with somebody at that time, and they agreed and all that stuff, like, think about that. They would have went through 5 years of depression and trying to kill themselves, and all this crazy stuff that I went through, and God, Lord knows what I would be doing in their life, and we would be totally switched, and who knows if the outcome would have came out the same, and so it's just like, a lot of times, guys, it's not an easy trade. It's not an easy trade. A lot of times we just think that, if we just switch with somebody, that our life would be better, when in reality you would be taking on now you'd be taking on their problems, and sometimes it might be greater than what you had. So just like with that Porsche, now all of a sudden, how do you know that that guy's not a business owner, or that girl is a business owner, and now she's putting in 12, 14, 16 hours, the guy the same thing, and then now, instead of going to a 9 to 5, coming to your kids, your loving kids, and your family, and all the stuff that you have, and all this stuff that you had before, now you got to spend all that time working in your business just to be able to drive that damn Porsche, and be able to look like you're happy in your fucking, excuse my language, but in your car. And now you have to understand, I'm not bashing rich people. I want to be rich, and I believe everyone should be rich. That way we could be kind and give back, okay? But what I'm saying, though, is that a lot of times we get in this mindset where we see somebody with a Lambo, or we see somebody in Paris, or we see somebody at a fancy-ass restaurant, and we always think, oh, man, I wish I could be doing that right now instead of eating this cheeseburger. And it's like, a lot of the times, like, come on, you're lucky to even be eating that damn cheeseburger, because there's a lot of people that aren't even eating right now and that are struggling to eat, and meanwhile you're crying about having to eat a damn... I just ate $5 Taco Bell box right now, I kid you not. The grilled cheese taco box. If you don't know what it is, go check it out. It's freaking delicious. And I'm happy as hell. $5 box. If somebody would have bought me a $50 steak, a lot of the times I would be like, just give me Taco Bell. Like, the hell do I want a $50 steak for? And just like, imagine rich people or people that are well better off. Like, sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish I could trade lives with somebody. That way I could eat fancy steaks all the time and just drink champagne all the time and do all this crazy stuff. But it's like, would I want to put 16 hours and sacrifice my family and have my mental health all crazy even more than it is now, and have all this excess problems that I'm sorry, but I'd rather deal with what I have right now and then become successful and then get to that point. Because by the time I get to that point, my issues would already be resolved. Versus where if I were to just instantly switch right now into their life, I would be bombarded with just new problems that I wouldn't even know how to handle. Same thing with them, if they were to switch with you. And so that's what I want you guys to think about, is to just, like, I'm not saying everyone's perfect. I'm not perfect, but a lot of times, like, people say, oh, social media is the stuff that's making you depressed or sad or all this stuff. No, it's not. It's you, the one that's comparing yourself to other people and thinking you are not worthy, and that you're not worthy of success and love. And that your body, your body has a little too, your belly is too big. Or, I gotta hide my belly, and I gotta pose the perfect way. Or I gotta put this lighting so that way it look good. Like, it's stupid, guys, because then we live up to standards, or we try to live up to standards that are literally freaking impossible, and then we become depressed because we compare ourselves to stupid-ass Instagram models. And it's causing depression in a lot of young women, and especially even older women, because instead of those Instagram models or people just being real and actually showing people how they really look like, they're trying to hide it and try to pretty much sell something, and it's causing a downward effect. And I'm not saying it's all only because of them, but I'm just saying comparison is the thief of joy, and a lot of times it's just smoke and mirrors, guys. And so you want to be happy, don't compare yourself to nobody. Don't look up to nobody. Just do whatever the hell you want to do in your life. Just do that, and don't give a crap about anybody. Just literally focus on you, your family, your happiness, and the stuff that makes you important, and don't care about what anybody else is doing. If you want to get to wherever that person is and you want to be successful like they are, then that's a different story, you know. But don't compare yourself. Don't say, oh man, you know, like, why am I still on phase 1 when they're in phase 20? Like, you don't know what they had to sacrifice to get there. And so, yeah, so just like she said, comparison is the thief of joy. We have to find meaning to our lives instead of comparing. Boom, 100%. So, anyway, that's a little rant, but as you guys can see, okay, I drew this little graph, and I wanted to illustrate exactly what I'm mentioning, whereas the grass is not always greener on the other side. And with this graph, as you see, you see one person on this side, you see 3 cows. I know those aren't cows, but just bear with me. It's not the damn drawings that matter. It's about the explanation and what to get into your head. This is grass. Okay, as you can tell, it's well maintained. Water right here. Same thing with over here. People. You know, we got 3 people. We got 1 cow. We got the grass, which is growing a little bit better than this one. And we got water, okay? Now, you might be thinking, well, those diagrams are the same, right? Those 2 are the same pictures, right? No, they're not. I did it on purpose because look, if you look closely, this one has 3 cows. This grass is not growing so well. And quite frankly, the water is good, but this one has 3 people. This one only has 1 cow, but the grass is growing a lot better. What does that mean? It means that the difference is, guys, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Because check this out. If these 3 people were to say, you know what? I don't want all this that I have right here. I'm gonna go jump on the. I'm gonna go jump to the other side of the fence and go see what this guy has. And say this guy does the same thing. Oh, well, I don't want 3 cows, and I don't want my grass to barely be growing. I want to jump to this other side. But now, think about it. This person jumps to the other side. This person jumps to the other side. Other side. Guess what? Now they only have 1 cow. Yes, their grass is growing a lot better, but guess what? They only have 1 cow to help. And just like if people know agriculture, correct me if I'm wrong, cows eating the grass, I believe it helps the grass or the soil, or maybe correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry, I'm not a farmer. And quite frankly, it's not even the point. But even if this person were to give up their 3 cows, you know, quite frankly, look, they have 3 people on this side. What that represents is 1 father and 2 kids. Or even a father, a wife, and a kid. This one is just a father. So by him going to there, he's still going to have nobody. Or even if he does have somebody and he were to get these other 2 kids and the father were to just leave on his own to go give up his kids for the cows, quite frankly, he probably wouldn't be happy because yes, now he has cows and he thought that the grass was going to be way more big and much more full and much more like super tall and all this stuff. But now he has no kids. And he only has 1 cow. You know, and then just like with this one, now he has 3 cows, but his freaking grass is barely growing. And now he has no kids because he gave it up. This guy now he has 3 kids. You know, now he has his 2 kids. His grass is growing, but look, he only has 1 cow. And what if the cow was super important to that person? He's like, I don't care about no kids. I don't care about the grass. Quite frankly, I just enjoyed spending time with my animals. Now he only has 1. And if that animal were to die, now what? Now he has nothing, according to him. And so what I'm trying to demonstrate is that there's always a trade-off, guys. This isn't a fair share. This isn't like, oh yeah, I give you 2 and you give me 2. I give you 1, you give me 1. No. Life isn't fair, guys. Believe me. And when you think that the grass is greener on the other side, and you finally get the wish that you want, which is being in that other person's shoes, and the other person switches with you too, You know, I'm not saying I'm a time traveler, but you know, a lot of the times now you have all these unwanted problems and that you don't even know how to deal with now. And now maybe you have a sick mother in the hospital, or you know, maybe now you have no family, and that person, you know, they switched with you, and now you had a loving family before, or you know, you were very happy in your life or whatever, and now you're in that other person's life, and now you're unhappy because you guys switched. Now he's super happy, but now you know, say if something were to happen on his end and then with you or whatever, it's like, just don't worry about other people, okay? Imagine if these guys were just grateful and didn't care about what these people had to say, or didn't these guys didn't care about what they had, or if this guy didn't have a care what they had, they'd be so much happy. They'd be like, "Hi neighbor, how's it going?" Like, "Oh my God, hey, I love your kids." Like, "Man, I wish I had a family of my own, but you know what? You do such a great job with your kids, and quite frankly, you deserve them. And like, I love spending time with you guys. You know, I see that your grass is growing good. Like, you know, how would you recommend me any tips? You know, is there anything that I can do to make my grass like yours that is really really cool?" You know, and then the other neighbor could be like, "Hey, I see that you have 3 cows. I only have 1 cow. Like, what can I do to multiply my cows and to get better?" You know, and who knows? Maybe this one goes find a girlfriend, makes kids, and then now they look exactly the same in the picture after all. You know, but it's just the sheer fact of not comparing yourself that you could just be super happy. And quite frankly, when I was on Instagram and I used to scroll just all day, I noticed myself just my mental health was just going to crap, and quite frankly I was becoming more depressed than I already was, and I was just becoming real resentful, and I hated my life, and I was hateful towards other people, and I just became real angry. You know, like a while ago, like many months ago, or many or even years, and I noticed, I was like, well, wait, what? Like, why am I mad? You know, like, why am I mad? Like, you know, quite frankly, I don't know what's going on in their life. How the hell do I know if I want to switch lives with them when I don't even know if and it's not about the fact of, you know, oh, you want to switch lives with somebody that's doing better than you or that's in a better position, because it's all subjective. And so by just focusing on you, your family, your happiness, the people you care about, and just really doing your passion and what you're passionate about, your life's work, and just focusing only on you and your stuff, you know, a lot of the times you are way happier, because you're not worried about what this person is doing. You're not worried about what this person thinks, and you're not comparing yourself. You're not saying, "Oh, I need to lose weight because Kim Kardashian looks like a hourglass," when quite frankly she's been having surgery, and you don't know all the complications she's had, and a lot of the times, you know, even on Instagram, like I said, it's just smoke and mirrors. Social media, a lot of the times, is just smoke and mirrors. And we're trying to live up to these unexpected and impossible, you know, expectations, and it's just not possible, guys. That goes for guys and girls, you know. Guys, we try to, like, look a certain way, act a certain way, feel a certain way just because social media tells us to. Same thing with women. I noticed that with women, you know, oh, selfies. And you know, oh, compare myself. Oh, I'm not skinnier. I wish I could be skinnier. You know, oh, this person said I'm fat, or this and that, or I'm comparing myself. She looks so beautiful. Like, guys, just who gives a damn? You know, just like go away for like a month, and just don't even care about nobody else but you. And just like sometimes, guys, when it comes to people's happiness, or when it comes to your own happiness, you gotta be selfish sometimes. And a lot of times it's for the best. And when it comes to happiness, focusing on you, bettering yourself, bettering your life, so that way you can help the people you care about and your community, so that way you can be kind and give back, you know, just like we want to do, and really impact the communities and the people in our life that we want. Quite frankly, we have to focus on ourselves, you know, and then eventually we can be able to help other people. So anyway, I know that was kind of like a little rant. But like I said, you know, like I've noticed this in my own family, where people are super unhappy because they compare themselves. I used to compare myself. I still compare myself. And quite frankly, it just, eventually, guys, it's a rabbit hole that is just full of negativity and causes people to be even more depressed, even take their lives, and just be not happy with themselves. So that's all I got for you guys. Sorry for my stupid dog. Hey! Put some hearts, put some likes. Sorry, but we have a pit bull, and he always likes to bark whenever I'm doing Facebook Lives. He don't like to bark any other time. Or when we're sleeping, he always wants to get all kinds of energy. And when we're awake all day, he wants to not do anything all day. So, I don't know. But anyway, comment #live, #replay if you caught the replay. I hope this kind of helped. Sorry if it didn't make very much sense. I was trying to explain a lot of things at once, but like I said, guys, the main thing is just don't compare yourselves to others if you want to be happy. If you want to be resentful, if you want to be depressed, if you want to hate your life, then go ahead and keep continuing to compare yourself. Wish that you had a better life. Wish this, wish that, instead of actually working on it. And believe me, you'll be way more depressed and way more suicidal. And quite frankly, you're gonna hate yourself and your family and everyone that comes into your life. But if you don't compare yourself to nobody, you work on your happiness and the fact of trying to help other people and just really be that light in other people's life and in yours, and don't compare yourself, then quite frankly you're gonna be way happier. That's all I have for you guys. Share this if you think that anyone can get help from this or value of any sort. If you know somebody that has been comparing themselves or hates their own life because of just them comparing themselves to other people, or stuff like that, feel free to share it with them. And that's all I got for you guys tonight. So, peace.